أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. صدق الله العظيم.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Ambassador Babar Amin, the keynote speaker. Ambassador Asif Durrani, sir. Chairman, Board of Governors, Ambassador Khalid Mahmood. Ambassador Sohail Mahmood, Director General ISSI. The honorable panelists today. Ladies and gentlemen, Excellencies, Assalamu alaikum and very good morning. On behalf of Institute of Strategic Studies, Islamabad, I, Dr. Talat Shabir, welcome you all to this very important event today. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, Pakistan's policies, priorities and opportunities. Shanghai Cooperation Organization stands as a significant regional integration arrangement established with the aim of fostering cooperation in diverse fields such as security, economy, and culture. For Pakistan, SCO presents a strategic platform to address and resolve pressing issues through collaborative regional efforts. Pakistan became full member state of Shanghai Cooperation Organization in June 2017. Pakistan assumes the rotating annual chair of SCO Council of Head of Government on 26 October 2023. As chair, Pakistan will host a meeting of the Council of Heads of Government of SCO member states in November 2024, and a meeting of ministers responsible for foreign, economic and trade activities, necessarily commerce ministers of all the member states. In coming years, Pakistan will be assuming the rotating annual chair of SCO Council of Regional Anti-Terrorism Structure from September 2025, and councils of head of state and foreign ministers from July 2026. Accordingly, meetings of CRATs in September 2026, CFM in April, and CHS in July 2027. Evidently, significance of SCO has risen to new highs in the light of leading roles Pakistan shall assume in SCO in coming years. Pakistan recognizes the SCO as a cornerstone for regional cooperation, providing a platform to address pressing economic and security challenges. Pakistan's elevation to rotating annual chair positions within key SCO councils underscores our growing prominence and responsibility within the alliance. In this context, strategic planning becomes imperative for Pakistan to effectively expand its influence and articulate its foreign policy objectives. Hosting critical meetings involving heads of government, foreign ministers, and leaders allow Pakistan not only contribute significantly to regional discussions, but also to shape narrative around shared challenges and opportunities. Pakistan also sees significant potential within SCO for enhancing trade, investment, and economic collaboration. SCO member states count for 32% of Pakistan's total trade, which can be further enhanced given the significance of member states in the trade context. Being a vibrant forum for regional integration, SCO consists of multiple states with diverse cultures. It is therefore imperative to foster people-to-people contacts, promote cultural exchanges, and reduce language barriers. Few of the world's most technologically advanced states are part of SCO. To embrace newer technologies and facilitate technology sharing in cyberspace, artificial intelligence, and emerging technologies, Pakistan can benefit from technology sharing within the SCO. Despite being the least contributor to global CO2 emissions, Pakistan faces one of the most significant climate change crises in the world. SCO Forum can provide Pakistan with a regional platform to highlight challenges faced by the country and draw attention to the indifference of global community in this regard. Ladies and gentlemen, with this, I would now like to invite Ambassador Sohail Mahmood for his welcome remarks. Ambassador Sohail Mahmood has been a career Foreign Service officer with diplomatic experience spanning 37 years, culminating as 30th Foreign Secretary of Pakistan. Prior to his appointment as Foreign Secretary, he served as Pakistan's High Commissioner to India, and Pakistan's Ambassador to Turkey and Thailand. Sir, you have the floor, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Thank you, Dr. Talat. Ambassador Khalid Mahmood, Chairman, Board of Governors, ISSI, Ambassador Asif Durrani, Pakistan's Special Representative for Afghanistan, Ambassador Babar Amin, Pakistan's first National Coordinator for SCO, eminent speakers, distinguished participants, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. Let me begin by extending a very warm welcome to everyone to this roundtable discussion relating to the Shanghai Cooperation Organization and Pakistan's policy priorities and opportunities. A special thanks to Ambassador Babar Amin for the keynote address and to the eminent discussants from the academia, think tanks, and the government, including Dr. Liaquat Shah, Dr. Shazia Ghani, and Dr. Hussain Shahid Sorwardi. We look forward to their very valuable contributions. In my remarks, I intend to focus essentially on 3 points. 1, SCO's salience in today's global milieu. 2, opportunities for Pakistan as it gears up to assume the SCO's multifaceted mechanisms and summit processes. And 3, the challenges that we should keep in view as we go forth promoting SCO's objectives and role in the coming years. First, the salience. Since its inception in June 2001 from the Shanghai Five, with the inclusion of several Central Asian states, to its expansion in 2017 to include Pakistan and India, and most recently welcoming Iran into its fold in July 2023, SCO has evolved into one of the world's largest organizations for trans-regional cooperation. Beyond the member states, it forges enhanced cooperation with observers and dialogue partners and collaborates closely with the international organizations, including the United Nations. Altogether, it has grown to become a big family of 26 countries, including member states, observers, and dialogue partners. SCO's salience can be gauged from the fact that cumulatively it covers 60% of the Eurasian landmass, has 40% of the global population, and the GDP of its member states accounts for nearly 30% of the world's GDP. However, the organization's importance goes beyond its demographic might and economic potential. It offers a formidable platform to make a positive contribution to peace, stability, and prosperity at the global level with a constructive outlook. Indeed, In the last 23 years since its establishment, SCO has both developed its internal institutional architecture and expanded its role in regional and global affairs. Primarily, it has been driven by the Shanghai spirit, which emphasizes mutual trust, equality, respect for cultural diversity, and pursuit of common development. This is indeed an alternative perspective in international relations and a new cooperation model. SCO's emphasis on openness and inclusivity, non-alignment, non-confrontation, and non-targeting of any third party is different from the approaches that hinge on zero-sum perspectives and harbor notions of Cold War and clash of civilizations. SCO prioritizes regional stability and considers it a prerequisite for socio-economic development. It has consistently sought to pursue balanced development across all areas of cooperation, encompassing security, trade, economy, culture, and humanitarian affairs. The progress made in these areas over the past 2 decades is impressive and has positioned SCO well for playing greater role in global governance. Now moving to Pakistan and SCO. From the outset, Pakistan has considered SCO as an important platform whose objectives and priorities are aligned with Pakistan's own interests. As such, initially as observer and now as full member, Pakistan has been actively engaged and has made a significant contribution to SCO's evolution and its growing salience. Notably, Pakistan's elevation as the chair of the SCO Council of Heads of Government in October 2023 marks a pivotal moment. Pakistan's forthcoming responsibilities, including hosting key meetings such as the Ministerial Meeting of Foreign, Economic and Trade Activities in September 2024 and the Council of Heads of Government in November 2024, underscore possibilities of proactive role in shaping the SCO's agenda. Moreover, Pakistan's upcoming chairmanship of the Council of Regional Anti-Terrorism Structure in September 2025, followed by leadership roles in the Council of Foreign Ministers and the apex body of the SCO, that is the Council of Heads of State, in July 2026, entail immensely important opportunities for advancing SCO's objectives and contributing to regional peace and stability. While discharging these key responsibilities, Pakistan can effectively leverage its strategic position to foster greater connectivity, cooperation, and consensus among member states. Through active engagement in discussions on security, economic cooperation, and counterterrorism efforts, Pakistan can play a pivotal role in shaping the SCO's agenda and promoting mutual understanding among its diverse members. Substantive participation in SCO activities will not only enhance Pakistan's diplomatic space vis-à-vis fellow member states, but also reinforce its regional influence and standing. By promoting collaboration within the SCO framework, Pakistan can effectively channelize the organization's resources and expertise to tackle issues like terrorism and extremism, while also fostering greater economic integration and development opportunities for its people. Therefore, the significance of the present moment and the next few years in Pakistan's engagement with SCO cannot be stressed enough. It would be important to be both imaginative and proactive and make Pakistan's leadership role in the organization a catalyst for further harnessing SCO's potential and effecting a positive change that fosters deeper cooperation, dialogue, and mutual prosperity for the benefit of all member states. Lastly, the challenges. These fall primarily in 3 domains. First, tackling the diversity and differences of member states to ensure close coordination for effective and result-oriented practical cooperation. Second, prudently handling the effects of the major power contestation and essentially the attempted containment of China and Russia. Several of SCO's members are currently being influenced by the current currents and cross currents of this dynamic. Thirdly, developing a coherent approach to regional security in an increasingly complex environment driven by the accentuation of old security threats and proliferation of new and many non-traditional threats and challenges. It would be important to engage in close consultations with all stakeholders to prepare well. Hopefully, our eminent speakers will shed light on these aspects and offer practical suggestions on how best to realize the forthcoming opportunities for Pakistan and secure win-win outcomes for all. I thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for your very candid remarks. I would now like to invite Ambassador Babar Amin for the keynote. And Ambassador Babar Amin is a former career diplomat with distinguished 33 years tenure in Foreign Service of Pakistan. He has served Pakistan's first ever national coordinator for the SCO. Some of his significant assignments abroad included High Commissioner to Australia, Ambassador of Pakistan to Norway, and Deputy High Commissioner at High Commission of India. Sir, you have the floor, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Chairman ISSI, Ambassador Khalid Mahmood Sahib, Director General ISSI, Ambassador Suhail Mahmood Sahib. I would like to thank you for this opportunity to speak to this August House today. And I'll be speaking about Pakistan's policy priorities, opportunities and challenges with regard to SCO. I will be brief in the introductions because already some introduction about SCO has been done. And so some of these slides I'll be going through quickly. So as already stated by Ambassador Suhail Mahmood, that the SCO was formed in 2001 and Pakistan became its member in 2017 along with India. And now Iran is the ninth and most recent member, which was admitted at the Council of Heads of State Summit in India, which was held virtually on 4th July 2023. I'll skip this because already something has been said in this regard regarding SCO's overall significance. And come to the structural and chart of the SCO. And this I'll explain in the sense that on the top is the Council of Heads of State, and then followed by the Council of Heads of Government and the Council of Foreign Ministers. And then you see the Council of the National Coordinators, which is the pivotal organization in the sense that all the arrows are coming to this direction, and then they are passing on as a linchpin between the other organs and institutions of the SCO. The two main organs of SCO are the SCO Secretariat and the SCO Executive Regional Committee for the Regional Anti-Terror Structures, which is basically dealing with the conventional security threats. This, the competent authorities of the national of the RATs of different countries, and these are listed in accordance with the Russian alphabetical order. Now, I'll just stop at this briefly at this chart, which basically shows the 9 SCO members of which are China, Russia, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Pakistan, India, and now the latest member is Iran. And at the SCO Heads of State meeting in New Delhi in July last year, Belarus was accepted to be the next member, and it has been given 1 year to complete accession process, and it will now become a member at the Council of Heads of State meeting in 2024. Mongolia and Afghanistan are the two observer countries of SCO. Mongolia has not shown interest to become member, whereas Afghanistan's membership request is pending. And then you can see there are a lot of dialogue partners and then pending requests for observer and dialogue partner countries. Now, what are the strategic priorities and opportunities that SCO offers to Pakistan? SCO is the most effective regional organization to which Pakistan is currently a member. Pakistan also has membership of ECO, D8, Asia Cooperation Dialogue, ACD, etc. But I would rank SCO as the most effective of all these organizations. SCO's focus aligns with Pakistan's national priorities, covering security, energy, commerce, connectivity, and climate change, etc. As a committed member, Pakistan actively engages with all SCO meetings and initiatives. Historically, Pakistan is linked to Central Asia and aims to strengthen its relations with the region. SCO reinforces the all-weather comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership that Pakistan enjoys with China. And we would like to continue the trajectory of positive improvement in Pakistan-Russia relations, for which I believe SCO has also played a strong anchoring role. Pakistan would like to establish itself as a credible SCO partner, as against India, whose selective interest, doublespeak, and bringing Western agenda has raised eyebrows within the SCO membership. Serving as a regional connectivity conduit, especially for Eurasian landmass and the Arabian Sea. China-Pakistan economic corridor aligns with the SCO's integration agenda, engaging cars in Russia to invest in CPEC projects under third country participation is an option that we would like to explore in the future. We would like to have enhanced non-traditional security cooperation under SCO RATS and enhancing a comfort level to reach to a level where we can have also defense collaboration with SCO members, obviously not in the ambit of SCO, but outside the SCO, because of the confidence building and mutuality of interest that we are able to achieve through our SCO membership. SCO also provides regular opportunities for exchanges and engagements with India. Thus, it could serve as a platform for future bilateral meetings on the sidelines. Previously, we used to have sideline meetings when we were an observer state, both Pakistan and India. And at that time, we had meetings at the leadership level when our Prime Minister or President would be attending the SCO meetings. More recently, this practice has been discontinued due to the current state of our bilateral relations, but subsequently, SCO can also provide an opportunity for our engagements, bilateral engagements on the sidelines of SCO. Coming to Pakistan and Central Asia relations. Central Asia has rich energy resources, especially gas, hydropower capacity, coal, and uranium reservoirs. Central Asia can help ease Pakistan's perpetual energy crisis and generate transit revenue. The main obstacle is constructing infrastructure to transport Central Asia's resources, especially gas and electricity. Insufficient financing, political uncertainty, transit insecurity issues, the intra-regional rivalries, as well as the external pressures from outside the region, and systematic inefficiencies have hampered full potential of Pakistan's Central Asia cooperation. We believe that SCO will have to ease that. Pakistan and Russia. SCO meetings have provided an opportunity to strengthen Pakistan-Russia geo-economic and geopolitical ties. India's increasing alignment with the US has strengthened Pakistan, China, and Russia relations. Future trade in oil, minerals, technology, goods, and services offers good prospects. Both nations are committed to the 1,100 kilometers Pakistan Stream gas project, north-south gas pipeline, despite the delays. And I would just like to draw your attention to this small clip on the side, which is showing that last year, for the first time on Pakistan's Independence Day, Pakistan and Russian flags were displayed on a main building on a main boulevard in Moscow. So it shows improvement of relations significantly. Pakistan and China, as I've already said, enjoy a comprehensive strategic cooperative partnership which remains steadfast. Both nations engage in close consultations within SCO, supporting each other's initiatives, reflective of the high level of trust. China played a crucial role in supporting Pakistan's SCO membership bid and guided it through its initial phase of joining the SCO. Connectivity is a top SCO priority for Pakistan. Pakistan's proposal to link Karachi and Gwadar with SCO routes at Urumqi and Kashgar could not be adopted due to Indian objection. Despite objections, Pakistan has extensive alternative connectivity via quadrilateral agreement for traffic in transit, the Karek ECO transport links, and also as being a member of international TIR. SCO defense ministers meetings, which are held regularly every year, have helped forge a closer relationship between Pakistan's defense establishment and the defense ministries of the SCO member states. SCO's counter-terrorism military exercise improved inter-military cooperation, enabling Pakistan to share its counter-terrorism expertise and leverage advanced intelligence technology. SCO RAS coordinates counter-terrorism operations, and SCO cooperation against narcotics has led to significant seizures. India, as it is alphabetically the first country, according to the Russian alphabet, had its opportunity to host the chairmanship of heads of state last year, prior to Pakistan. And this chairmanship started with a lot of euphoria and India coming up with a number of initiatives. But it had a dull ending because first, India postponed the dates of 24 to 25th June 2023 to 3 to 4 July because of Prime Minister Modi's visit to Washington. And later, this in-person meeting was reduced to a virtual meeting, which was also not appreciated by some countries. And many countries raised objection to it during the national coordinators meetings, according to my information. The External Affairs Minister Jaishankar's strong criticism of Pakistan's then Foreign Minister, Mr. Bilal Bhutto, during the on the sidelines of the Council of Foreign Ministers meeting in Goa, was also not appreciated by other members, and it defied the host's responsibility. So overall, the as the year of India's heads of state council chair went on, there was a dampening effect with the various developments. Quickly going through the New Delhi Declaration, India wanted a terrorism-centric declaration along with 4 joint statements on radicalization, digital transformation, use of millet, and sustainable lifestyle. Only the first 2 could be agreed, while the consensus could not be achieved on use of millet and sustainable lifestyle, which were Prime Minister Modi's proposals. India had opposed inclusion of China's BRI and Global Development Initiative, Global Security Initiative, and Global Cultural Initiative in the New Delhi Declaration. And that is why the other states also did not agree to 2 proposals of Prime Minister Modi that were put in for the declaration. However, the BRI was included with the endorsement of 7 member states minus India. So that way India was isolated on this, while other 7 members supported the BRI. India's name was not mentioned in that. There was an approval of regulations for the special working group on poverty alleviation, which was a Pakistan initiative, and Pakistan is also the SDWG's lead, and this was a good development from our point of view. It was agreed that the principles to form a unified list of terrorist, separatist, and extremist organizations proscribed by SCO members. I can go in detail of this subsequently if somebody is interested in the discussion. Emphasis on inadmissibility of interference in the internal affairs of member states on the pretext of countering terrorism and extremism was also again emphasized. The declaration opposed militarization of outer space and information communication technology. It stressed on the need for inclusive government in Afghanistan and humanitarian assistance to the country. Pakistan has, for the first time, assumed the chairmanship of Council of Heads of Government of SCO at Bishkek on 26 October 2023. Pakistan has identified the following key priorities for its CHG chair. Connectivity, including transport, logistics, and infrastructure. The meeting of this was held virtually on November 2023. Conference on youth empowerment through digital economy. Date for this has not been announced as yet. Inaugural session on SCO Special Working Group on Poverty Alleviation. This meeting was held virtually on 6 December 2023. Prevention and response to emergency situation, no dates have been announced as yet. I missed the SEO Business and Investment Conference. It was earlier scheduled for December 2023, but now it will be held in April 2024. Then Pakistan has also agreed to carry forward progressive proposals agreed at Bishkek, such as the Energy Cooperation, Regional Energy Hub, Development Strategy, Technical and Innovation Fund, and Sports Organization, Association of the SU Member States, Smart Agriculture, Green Technologies, etc. Most of the meetings are likely to be organized by the proposing states or at the SU Secretariat in Beijing. Only 3 meetings are expected to be held in person in Pakistan under Pakistan's Council of Heads of Government chairmanship. First is the Council of Heads of Government, which is to be scheduled in November this year. Then the Council of National Coordinators, which will be held immediately before the Council of Heads of Government's meeting, and the meeting of Commerce Ministers of SCO. likely to be held in September 2024 tentatively. I have suggested some of the meetings that Pakistan could organize during its tenure, although there is no such formal proposal in this regard. These are holding SU expos on agriculture, mining and minerals, etc., since these are also priority areas for the Strategic Investment Council in Pakistan. Then SCO exhibition on information technology and software, SEO think tank forum on developing pragmatic synergies in SEO. Institute of Strategic Studies Islamabad could take a lead in this regard. SEO higher education institutional cooperation. There are a lot of private and public sector educational universities in Lahore and Karachi, and perhaps one of these cities could host these meetings. The SEO Science and Technology Forum with collaboration of ComSats and SAT institutions in Pakistan, and SEO Folk Culture Festival in collaboration with Lok Varsa. In October, September, October every year, Lok Varsa has a big festival in Islamabad, so the SEO festival could be organized simultaneously with that. SEO challenges for Pakistan. India has been attempting to link Pakistan's intelligence services with the proscribed organizations such as LAT, GEM, and others, despite these groups being non-functional. India blocks inclusion of Pakistan's proposed routes for connectivity with SEO and land routes. It also challenges BRI and CPEC, claiming that it passes through Indian territory in GB. Indian SA left NSA's virtual meeting on display of Pakistan map showing Jammu and Kashmir as well as Junagadh and Manavdar on the background wall. Thus, tried to have an unnecessary controversy. Iran's full membership may pose some challenges on Pakistan. Indian-sponsored international north-south transport corridor, a multi-mode sea rail road route involving India, Iran, Central Asia, Russia, and Europe, could become a competing corridor to CPEC within SEO. Tajikistan's strong opposition to Taliban too, and its perception of Pakistan's support to them, had caused some misunderstandings. Pakistan's financial constraints have hampered its effective utilization of the Council of Heads of Government Chair to host in-person meetings in a number of areas. SEO has Chinese and Russian as official working languages, and causing communication impediments for our participants. To conclude, as SEO grows, Pakistan can gain economic, security, and cultural benefits from the organization. By actively participating and contributing to SEO initiatives, Pakistan can solidify its regional integration efforts and strengthen ties with the key regional players. By proactively engaging with the SEO framework, Pakistan can realize its vision of prosperous and peaceful region, benefiting not only its own citizens, but also the broader SEO community. Thank you very much.
So thank you very much for your very comprehensive keynote. And ladies and gentlemen, after the keynote, we have a panel to discuss various opportunities and priorities with regard to SEO. And for that, first of all, I would like to invite Dr. Liaquat Ali Shah, who is the Executive Director and Head of Policy Division, Trade and Industrial Cooperation at Center of Excellence for China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. I will request my honorable panelists to be brief and to the point so that we can wrap up timely. Thank you very much.
Okay, Dr. Talab, distinguished speakers and discussants, audience, assalamu alaikum, and a very good morning. Okay, I will be very brief, and I think Ambassador Babar Amin Saab, he basically took us through, the SCO, and major aspect of the SCO was discussed in the presentation. Definitely, SCO is a multifaceted platform for collaboration and cooperation within member states, with emphasis on the security, political, investment in economic cooperation and people-to-people exchanges. So definitely, when I see it, the SCO agenda, I think it is very much aligned with the Belt and Road Initiative also agenda. As far the principles are concerned, the SCO principles are basically, win-win cooperation, mutual trust, peace, prosperity. So the same principle they are being employed also in the Belt and Road Initiative conceptual framework. So there is an alignment on that front as well. When I look, when you see the commonalities between the Belt and Road and the SCO, and definitely the China is playing a major role in both these initiatives. So I think they both can be, synergized in a way for mutual benefit of all. So in this respect, I will highlight two areas where I see, as far as the CPEC is concerned, the economic cooperation area. Definitely I will talk a little bit about the economic cooperation area, and there is some areas within CPEC which I myself, as a head of policy, I found it a little bit rather weak. So one is the policy coordination. I think policy coordination is all about political coordination at the top level. So this area, definitely we have a policy coordination with China, but I think it should be improved. The reason is we have a BRI forum for that, but it happens every 3 years, 2 years, it takes time. So I think SCO, since frequently they meet, so this forum can be used also for the policy coordination between the member states, so that to create an environment, even for the BRI, for the development, for the economic development. Another area which is definitely weak in the CPEC is people-to-people connectivity. As for the first, when we look at the CPEC and the first phase of the CPEC, it was G2G, government to government. When you think of the government to government, it means the interaction or the exchanges between Pakistan and China, which is bilateral definitely so far, is hierarchical. For example, the top, the leaderships, they meet, and then we have the ministerial, and then within the ministry there are focal persons. So it's hierarchical in one-to-one mapping a relationship between the two countries. We want CPEC to be inclusive, and for inclusive means people-to-people exchanges. And for people-to-people exchanges, why is it important at this stage? Even though it's really very much important from the very first stage, but now its importance is gaining traction. The reason is the second phase of CPEC is people-centric. When I say it's people-centric, the reason is because the areas of cooperation, if you look at, for example, industrial cooperation, we have agriculture modernization under CPEC, then we have the science and technology, information technology cooperation. So these areas, these are all people-centric. They are not basically the government functionaries will work, together to cooperate in these areas. So for that, people-to-people exchanges, they are very much needed to boost industrial cooperation and cooperation in other areas. Definitely they are part of also the SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Agriculture, as Babar Amin Saab in his presentation, he mentioned about the agriculture cooperation, science and technology cooperation, and other areas in the SCO. So I myself believe and think that SCO platform can be leveraged to support Belt and Road Initiative and CPEC also in that this particular area. And one important aspect, he also mentioned about the third-party participation. Third-party participation definitely is on the agenda. As for now, CPEC is bilateral, but we want to make it multilateral, and we want to expand it to other countries, especially regional countries, with emphasis and focus on Afghanistan definitely this time, but it can be extended to Iran, to India, to other countries also. So this third-party participation, and for their political coordination and policy coordination is required. I think SCO platform is the right platform to help support it. Since and one more area, one more thing about the third-party participation. it can basically be at project level. It can also be basically at the some other level. And for that, what we need to modify our existing mechanism, which is bilateral. And I think we need to identify some modalities, even though we have identified some modalities and we have shared with the Chinese side. But once we finalize it, I think the same can be, shared with the neighboring countries. If they are willing, they can participate. And SCO, I think, can play its role in that. But for that to happen, I think one important thing is, since I'm working in the CPEC, in the Belt and Road Initiative, and the issue is also, working since 2005. Pakistan is being as member of the SCO since 2017. But I think we work in silos. We in Pakistan, I think, need to strengthen that coordination, and the same coordination can then basically be taken to the next level at the SCO forum zone. So I think since we have the geographic space which is overlapping, the principles of the Belt and Road Initiative issue, they are also the same. They operate on the same principles. So there is much commonality, and for that much commonality, I think we need to leverage them, and we need to make use of it for the benefit of all and for the shared prosperity of the whole region. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Liaquat Ali Shah. I think you have rightly mentioned that if you can leverage this platform, we can have some improvement or projects moving forward with regard to Belt and Road Initiative and CPEC. I would now like to invite Dr. Shazia Ghani for her remarks. And Dr. Shazia Ghani is a Senior Research Associate for Grenoble Center for Economic Research, France. She also works on Prime Minister's priority initiatives in CPEC, FDI promotion and strategic reforms. Dr. Shazia, you have the floor.
Thank you so much, Dr. Saab, and thank you so much, Team ISI, for having me here. And for this particular talk, I'm wearing the hat of only Senior Associate with, this Grenoble Center of Research on Economy. So, wonderful presentation was made by Ambassador Saab and supported with input from Dr. Liaquat Ali. Being myself student of global economic financial policies, I would try to give my 2 cents on relatively a new area, which was slightly mentioned back in 22, where SCO probably talked about settlement of trade or finance into bilateral currencies. This is really important thing, Yes, we got physical connectivity, we have some infrastructure also, but how we can use that infrastructure, what we are sending or getting back and through that infrastructure, that's also important. So here I would like to make a point that to use that infrastructure, to use that physical infrastructure, we need some exportable surplus that our economy should be generating. And to generate that economic surplus, we need to understand very minutely and very particularly each and every country who is member of SCO, what is in demand there, what we have capacity to produce. I think now it's been a bit old. We should come out of these general, suggestions. There's agriculture and mining, and there are a lot of projects which currently are under progress with individual countries, but unfortunately, none of them could come to fruition. Take the example of North-South gas pipeline. This has been in vogue from last 15 years. Iran-Pakistan gas pipeline, first proposal was prepared by a student of MPhil in 1949, and then I can talk about these things at length. So I think there is really important right now to create an SCO story. We all the time struggle to explain the SCO phenomena by discussing the bilateral things within that forum, which itself is a reflection that probably the biggest challenge is to bring this multilateralism into that. What is SCO multilateral project? Is there anything into pipeline? Are members conceiving anything like that? Are we willing to do that? So I think I'm not expert on this strategy and foreign policy and other things, but my humble suggestion would be that to create an impact, SCO need to create a multilateral project to make it really known as a multilateral forum. When I explain SCO through BRI, actually I'm explaining my bilateral relationship through the China-Pakistan economic corridor. When I say that, okay, it's North-South pipeline, it's me and Russia. It's our bilateral project. And there are a lot of other projects. But one thing which can connect us all and has a potential to be getting connected in the short run, that is probably the financial integration. You know, there is very least financial integration infrastructure available within the SCO countries, both in terms of bilateral settlement and in a multilateral way, of course. And in individual capacities, most of the SCO countries actually got good infrastructures. Pakistan too have good infrastructure. In Central Asia, this is actually booming. In Kazakhstan, 90% government is being run, and including the financial services on the internet and related payment infrastructures. So I think as a first step, and this is great opportunity for Pakistan, that Pakistan would be chairing 2024 conference, probably one of the sideline, not agenda, but the subject of talk could be like, what could be 2 or 3 major regional currencies which could be accepted by this diverse set of countries, in which we can settle our trade, in which we can do our payments, in which we can accept our payments. And this is really difficult. It's easy to say and then to do. It will take a lot of technical negotiations. It will require a lot of guarantees by the member countries, but of course it's not impossible. Pakistan and Russia settled its oil trade back in 22 in renminbi. Russia and China are settling bilateral trade into renminbi to the tune of $160 billion. Iran and China is settling trade in renminbi. GCC has also accepted. Plus, China and Russia, they have swap agreements within the SCO countries. So someone should took lead, and I think it's a great opportunity for Pakistani policymakers and the leaders who are involved into it to bring it into some kind of mechanism and make it part of conversations. Let me tell you, this is very important conversation that we have to initiate and we have to do. Thank you so much. This is all from me.
Thank you. Brief and to the point. Thank you very much, Dr. Shazia. And now I would like to invite Dr. Syed Hussain Shahid Sorwardi, who is professor at University of Peshawar, following a career as researcher and teacher of international relations, conflict resolution, political science, and creative leadership. A PhD from University of Edinburgh, Dr. Sorwardi has extensively written on Pakistan, India, tribal areas of Pakistan, war on terror, Afghanistan, and Pakistan-US relation. Dr. Sorwardi.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ISSI, for inviting me to discuss the speech given by Ambassador Babar. To a greater extent, I agree with Shazia Ghani for keeping it as multilateral as possible, because normally what we do is we see what is beneficial for Pakistan bilaterally. We need to see if we can have some kind of removal of misunderstandings between our adversaries and ourselves. Somehow if that can happen, that would be wonderful. And for that matter, these multilateral forums are one amazing place where we can negotiate, we can speak with them, we can put forth those arguments which are stronger and are not acceptable to our adversary. In the presence of the others, we can generate support of others, and that others, when I say, they can have their influence upon those who are always going for non-compliance and non-acceptance mantra. And in this particular case, I am talking about India. When you talk about superpower, basically we have certain criteria to define a superpower. And one very dominant factor is power. Now the question is, what is power in the current circumstances? The current circumstances are leading us to a future in which I anticipate redefinition of what power is, what power will be, as compared to what power was. And that is because of one amazing phenomenon that took place in the last 10 years, and that was BRI. It was in the beginning OBOR, and now it is BRI. So power was in fact security, but now it is more of economics than security. Then economics has become so strong that even security has come into its definition. What Mir Shamar says is that hegemon, we spoke a lot about hegemon in the last 50, 60 years. Now he says that, and normally we consider America as a global hegemonic power. But Mir Shamar says that any country that is unchallengeable and not unchallenged, unchallengeable is a hegemon. Now, is India, and we very rampantly, extempore speak South Asian hegemon as India. Now, as per the definition of Mir Shamar, a country that is unchallengeable is a hegemon. In South Asia, is India an unchallengeable country? In the very first instance, Pakistan is challenging it. So it's no more there. China is challenging it. So it's losing its that hegemonic status. Okay, let's talk about America. Global hegemonic power. Is it really so? There are two very important countries at the moment that are challenging its authority. One is China and the other is Russia. So hegemon term is very important. That should not be used very carelessly. In the entire world, when we read, speak, observe, analyze, we find only one hegemon in a region. And that region is Western Hemisphere, America. America is a regional hegemon, regional hegemonic power where it is not challenged by anyone. So that is there that we accept. In terms of the process, I say that security and economics are going to define the future order. And in that as well, economics will supersede security, and security will be part of economics, because we are witnessing a new phenomena here in the East. Now, if that is the case, this regional connectivity, Pakistan is more for regional connectivity, economic development. From Ambassador Babar's presentation, I got that notion, and which is absolutely right at the same time. When I say notion, I don't mean that I don't agree with that. Yeah, so now the most important thing for that matter is that we need to see where Shanghai Pact is moving ahead. It may not be hijacked by any member state for the extraterritorial countries, for the extraterritorial countries agenda. And in this case, we are particularly seeing the obstructive attitude of one of the countries, that is India. So we need to see that how will India be treated, because any organization where there is a fifth column, that always has some repetitions and problems. If you don't mind, I would really like, for the time being, I would like to take example of European Union, where Europeans were saying that Britain is a fifth column. It's not cooperating with us. It is having more of its loyalty across Atlantic than us. So what happened that the moment they went away from European Union with this Brexit, they were very happy with that. I mean, none of the single delegations visited London asking and requesting and begging them to please come back. They were so happy with that. They said that if you are leaving tomorrow, pack up today. I mean, we are very fine with that. So in terms of the process, we need to see if a country would be expelled or would leave just because certain other members are not happy and they are feeling some kind of agenda executed at the hands of other extraterritorial states as compared to Asia. Yeah. Now, at the same time, we must also check the global policies so that the tilt between the East and the West may not be towards the West. That was, as you people know, was the case in the past. So those global policies now have to remain balanced, because here huge projects are enumerated and initiated at the same time. BRI is an eye-opener. 64 countries are getting connected with each other. BRI is an eye-opener, getting connected with each other. BRI is an economic project. We are talking about Shanghai Cooperation Organization, that is a security organization that is also having economic opportunities for that matter. So BRI and Shanghai Pact, BRI, Shanghai Pact, are we talking about some kind of European Union and NATO? Is it the repetition of that here in this part of the world? We need to talk about that as well. Because here, once again, a security pact is in the offing. Many countries want to join that. Here is once again an economic bloc. Many countries are going to join that. Already 64 countries have joined that, which is BRI. It's a project. Yeah, I know that. Things do start with a project, and then they adopt the shape of an economic bloc. Remember, once upon a time we were talking about coal and steel community, European coal and steel community, and then it took a shape of another 6 countries, then another shape, and then finally it became an economic bloc. So today it's a huge, successful, wonderful economic bloc. One can witness and take some examples from there as well. So economics, security, Shanghai Pact and BRI, we need to have more encompassing of the both phenomena together. So economic relations, in fact, are important, but we need to see what is in international relations, what is, when you talk about economic relations, when we talk about foreign policy, when we talk about relations with other countries, yeah, it is for the entire world. But when we speak about economic relations, remember one very important thing, that is in fact about neighboring countries or regional countries. We import anything from US, cost will be very high. We import anything from Germany, Britain, expensive, costly. And third very important thing, liquidity, convertibility of one currency into another, it will be extremely high. So when we talk about economic relations, this in fact means relations with your neighboring countries. What kind of relationship Pakistan is having at the moment, economic relations with, say for example, China? China needs 100% of cotton and Pakistan contributes just 1% of that. For God's sake, we have very good relations, very good economic, very good relations with them. Forget about economics. Like Pakistan is, every fair morning Pakistan is closing its border with Afghanistan. On both sides, Malte and Seb, they are getting rotten. I mean, you understand? So neighboring countries' relations, in fact, are not relations, they are in fact economic relations. What we have to do about that is once again the question of the question. That is a challenge for organizations like Shanghai Pact. And my last point that I would like to speak is that this regional connectivity must be strengthened, must be supported, must be contributed. We need to have more influence upon our friends in the Middle East so that they may join that. The time has come when we have to balance the world order. It was till now tilted towards West. This is the time. Get it back, get it balanced. That is only possible when all Asians will get together. Once upon a time, the world order was concentrated in Mediterranean Sea. Then it was taken away from there, the superpower status. It went to Atlantic Ocean. It is there with them. I think this is the high time it will get back to Asia. And the moment it will get back to Asia, my last point that I said, the moment it will get back to Asia, it will no longer be for 70 years and 100 years. It will be for permanence. Why is it so? I spoke with some very good Chinese scholars in Beijing, And I asked them, why you are so concerned about neighboring countries' development? Forget about them, develop yourself. And something wonderful came out from there. And they said that, remember, we have a culture. We have a thought. The thought is that once you focus on yourself only, you will strengthen yourself and you will develop. And a time would come when you would have crossed all the limits and you would not be able to sustain it. That is the time when superpower drops. So what plan you have? What our plan is that we need to grow together as a region. And once superpower status is acquired, it will not go back, because we will move ahead. Our foundations will be strong. Our neighborhood will be strong. It would not be like Mexico or Mexico backward, Argentina backward, and America is a superpower. Or for that matter, the superpowers that were stationed there in the Mediterranean Sea. So what I'm anticipating is that this is a comprehensive plan that Chinese have drawn and adopted. And therefore, this power status that will come over to the east would be probably for the permanence. That would not be for some temporary time or or as a temporary phenomenon. With this, thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Sowardi. I think we have a couple of minutes. We can have a couple of questions before we conclude. Any question, comment? Those month, please.
Dost Mohammad Badej from University of Balochistan. I think so much has been said about the importance of SEO, but there are overlapping similarities between SEO and national security policy of Pakistan, because national security policy of Pakistan also gives more focus to regional connectivity, economic cooperation, citizen-centric approach, and mitigating the climate change. So what strategies are supposed to be, adopted by Pakistan to convince the members of SEO to make national security policy more successful? Thank you.
Your question is directed to?
Particularly to Liaquat Ali Shah.
About the national security policy, I think, when you think about the climate change, it doesn't mean that the climate change will only be contained, here in Pakistan or any region. It's basically cross-country, and for that, SEO or platforms like BRI, SEO or other platforms, they need to be, they need to work together to make it, successful. So I think national security policy, when you think about the overlapping, it's not an overlapping, this is a strength. I think if we have the same objectives, and the other SEO members, they also have the same objectives, so they can work together. So there is a commonality, there is an overlap, and that overlap basically is a strength, not a weakness. Thank you.
Ji, please.
Assalamualaikum ji. I'm Saira Ijaz. My question is directed to Dr. Hussain. Dr. Sahab, what could be the possible role of SEO vis-a-vis US-China strategic competition, and what is the most challenging and the most positive aspect of SEO which could, clear the picture in terms of US-China strategic competition, which is quite visible in Asia Pacific, and how would you comment on it?
It's a very direct question, really. This is the moment when already they have cleared their thoughts about what kind of strategic competition they are going to have. And for that matter, they have defined their allies at the same time. And that is one of the big reasons that Russia and China are so concerned about any such security organization that is at the moment even a bit feeble, and SEO is one of its kind. They are more focusing on that. And at the same time, even American foreign policy is more to support India, because it is one of the parts of this organization. They also know that this organization is going to make itself strategically, security-wise is stronger. The lines are drawn. The future Cold War is going to be between China and the US, supported and aligned by others. That is one thing done. Now, the question of the question is, how many others regional partners are going to be with the US? As I stated in the beginning, extraterritorial states, in fact, I was in bracket speaking about US and the Indian allies in the West. So in terms of the process, this Shanghai Pact is going to be very important, because that is the only security organization that is that would be encompassing all the people, all the countries from this region, and China is going to align on rely on them more than anything. You spoke about Asia Pacific. Asia Pacific is very economic. It is very economics oriented than security, but somehow they have to bring that model there as well, because economics is going to be securitized in those terms. So that is going to overlap each other, because there it is the hub of economics. China is not going to let anyone take any wrong advantage, especially from under its nose, so that anyone can take it away from there. And of course, we are looking at it from security point of view. Many people are observing that China is emerging as a security and economic power. So they will not lose power, and that is one of the big reasons. In the beginning I said that we are entering into an age where power will be renegotiated as it's in its definition. So what power definition we have today would not be its definition tomorrow. So in terms of the process, I believe that Shanghai is going to be the focal point. And once again, when I say Shanghai, I don't mean the capital, I mean Shanghai Cooperation, Shanghai Organization. That is going to be a focal point from here, and Russians are supporting that for that matter as well. So in the long run, this is going to be, as I gave a comparative analysis of NATO/European Union, here it will be BRI/Shanghai Pact.
Thank you, Dr. Sab. Ambassador Sohail may like to add something to it.
Thank you so much. I think it's a very interesting subject that you have raised, and I think we have to keep a couple of things in mind. One, the best approach for the SCO would be to very prudently handle this issue. While it is important to keep multilateral forums multilateral, and if they are designed to be economic oriented, to keep them that way. But unfortunately, we live in a very complex world, and there could be no neat delineation. And the global environment today is deeply influenced by the global power contestation that is going on, and it is affecting every platform. It is manifesting itself in all forums, even in cultural forums and all, and things from economics to sports are being weaponized also. So this is a reality that you have to deal with and see what could be the best outcomes. The second thing is that nothing is cast in stone yet. Of course, the trends are very strong that probably these two sort of set of nations are going in the direction of a Cold War, and it could lead to bloc politics, and eventually competition could turn into confrontation also. But I don't think that the international community should accept that as a fait accompli. I think there should be space for efforts to stop that march. Not that it would be easy, but that attempt should be made. And I think the two protagonists are themselves cognizant of the pitfalls and consequences of this, and they are making to put guardrails also. We should not ignore the outcomes of the summit meetings between President Biden and Xi, both in Bali and now recently in San Francisco. And they're trying to manage their competition responsibly. So we should encourage the two countries, all these countries, as was said, Asia Pacific is very economic oriented, and they don't want this kind of rivalry to affect the economic progress that they have made. So they have a legitimate stake in keeping the things the way they are, and they should not be turned into a confrontation. Similarly, there are many countries in Europe which do want that their relationship with China should not be affected because of the geostrategic considerations of one major power. They also need some space, and obviously countries, middle powers also have their own say on this, including Pakistan, who do not want to be in the middle of this confrontation. So I think there is space for effort there. Thirdly, I think you have to look at the orientation of SCO also. It was initially perceived as a Asian NATO, but over a period of time it has evolved, and they have moved away from that agenda. Today it is more economic oriented. It continuously emphasizes that it is for peaceful coexistence, it is for win-win outcomes, and it is not directed against any third country. So these principles should be upheld, and it should be reflected in the practical cooperation in the areas that it has decided to focus on. Now, security-related issues are complex, but trade, economy, culture, all these areas, it should be possible. Now, I do see what Dr. Sohrawardy talked about, the possibility of an extraterritorial power hijacking the agenda. I think it would ultimately depend on how much the member states, how much space the member states give to that kind of a thing. And we should also be not only we should be realistic about it, but also not overly negative about it. All the countries which have become members of SCO have made a deliberate and very conscious choice. Obviously, they have global interests, they have national interests also, and no country gives up its national interests when they become part of a multilateral or a regional organization. So these agendas would be pursued. The best thing would be to deal with them realistically, rationally, and finding common ground. So the present difficulties that we see, especially coming from one member country, we should try first to understand the impulse where they are coming from. And there is an alignment between India and the United States, so how it affects SCO and how we can insulate the SCO processes from that. Similarly, what we see between India and Pakistan happening within the SCO is also, again, is problematic, but then it is a function of the current state of bilateral relations. So I don't foresee that it would be a permanent thing. If we have improvement in bilateral relations, then obviously this dynamic would be diluted. So we don't think that it is a permanently condemned SCO and it cannot make progress. They made progress earlier. There are certain vexing issues like connectivity, where certain routes are being opposed or certain language is being opposed. We hope as we go forward, and if there is improvement in Pakistan-India relations, these things can be addressed. So I'll stop here, but I think it's a very interesting thing, idea that needs to be explored in SCO, and would remain a challenge which needs to be dealt with very thoughtfully.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Ambassador Asif Durrani.
Thank you, Baba, for a very illuminating discussion. In fact, I personally stand educated. I fully endorse what Ambassador Sohail Mahmood has just said. In fact, geographically, when you look at the geography, SCO suits Pakistan. Since your topic also says Pakistan's policy options and opportunities. So from that standpoint, when you look at the geography, and it has got all the trappings to emerge as a formidable bloc. I am not going further into details whether you call it security, economic and all that, but more trappings are for the emerging as an economic bloc. And then security also comes with that. European Union is an economic bloc, but it's part of the NATO. So you can't divorce. It all depends what your security paradigms are and how you are going to formulate your policies. But at the same time, given Pakistan's economic conditions, but its geography. Its geography can save it from economic disasters, and provided we play our cards well. And this is what we have to focus on. For instance, Afghanistan, for all practical purposes, if we want to reach out to Central Asia, it's not possible without Afghanistan. Yes, Iran is a route available, but it would be a longish route. Like for India, reaching to Afghanistan and Central Asia via Chabar is a longish route. Its perishables cannot reach Kabul because it takes at least 21 days. Its durables cannot compete in Kabul or Central Asia because of China. Because Chinese Indians are not competing, can't compete with the Chinese goods in their own market, what to talk of in Central Asia and elsewhere. So there is a need to have some calculations done on. We did that calculations way back some 5-7 years about Chabar when I was the ambassador there in Iran. So here I think we have to move confidently, irrespective of what Indian objections are. For us, it is not India. For us, it's the remaining membership of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization which matters. And for that, we have to move forward on a bilateral track as well as a multilateral track. This is what I wanted to add, and thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Sir.
I'd just like to add a few things. First of all, I'd like to say that SU is not and has never been an regional NATO or its equivalent, because it has always had a focus on non-traditional security threats. And there has never been any talk of providing collective security umbrella, collective defense to the member states. Even though there is a meeting of the annual meeting of the defense ministers of SEO, but they don't talk about collective security. And like if one country of SEO is attacked by a non-member country, then all the members country would come in defense for that. So this is a major difference between NATO and SEO, and I think it is better this way, because then there's all this propaganda that SEO was faced in the initial years, that probably they are making a alternate of NATO and an Eastern NATO to counter NATO's influence, was blunted, and I think it should remain like that. And then with regard to comments regarding joint projects of SEO basically at this point of time is focused more on providing enabling environment, legal framework for cooperation between the SEO member countries. They are not into having joint projects, and obviously because of the different economic and also other circumstances of different member countries, and joint project may not be so feasible at this point of time, and that is why they are more focused into providing enabling environment and legal framework for cooperation in commerce, trade, customs, as well as health, social sector, and other developmental areas, also climate change, etc. I don't think that any extra-regional power can overshadow SEO's agenda, and if any country would like to do the bidding of an extra regional power, it will stand to isolate itself within SEO, like we are already seeing in the beginning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.
Shabir, can I comment? Just very small comment. Okay. I'm sorry if I sounded like I sounded differently, because one of our fellows has really given clearance. I'm sorry, when these languages, they translate, sometimes meaning is lost, and I take this responsibility. When I say that classic Cold War, I never use this term. What I said was new shape in a new era. It's not that you are anticipating or you are imagining 1945-47's Cold War's repetition. It's not like that. The world has changed. Things have changed. Alliances have changed. Time has changed. Technology has changed. Can I tell you something? Cold War has already started. What kind of Cold War? As my gentle fellow stated that with the Biden and Xi Jinping's meeting, with all these meetings, things are taking place. What I'm saying is that it is not classic Cold War. It will be a new shape of Cold War. As I said, that it has already started in a new era with the new trends that we will see and that we are witnessing. So it is not that I'm saying that NATO kind of Shanghai Pact will become NATO. No. Things will be different now. Rather, NATO is even losing its importance for that matter, because many other countries, the members of the NATO countries, are talking about differently. So, yeah, like it was just a clarity that not a classical Cold War, but a new shape of Cold War.
Thank you, Dr. Saab. If there's no question, okay.
My question is directed towards Dr. Hussain and Dr. Shazia. How should Pakistan integrate itself in the global alliances to revive and thrive its economy? How should Pakistan integrate itself in the global alliances to revive and thrive its economy?
Shazia?
Really important question. As Ambassador Asif has rightly mentioned, the geography will save us economically too. That's the hardcore fact, but I also need to become part of global value chains, if I properly understand what your question is that, and to become, part of global value chains in such a critical thing that currently more than 93% of world trade is being settled through these value chains. So, and technically to become part of these value chains, you need to be able to up your game into manufacturing, into your production, into your skills. You need to produce what other countries need. I cannot say that, hey, look, I'm producing white sugar and China is to somehow bound to take it to me. They are already producing the white sugar at much more cost-effective price than mine. So I have to do my homework, what I can produce, at what cost, what global economy needs, and only then I would be able to be. Once I have to become part of regional value chains, and that will take me to global value chains. This is the path that China followed. This is the path that India is following. This is the path that Malaysia, Thailand, they did. So I think it would be like that.
Dr. San, you make some comment?
Okay. Honestly, the same. Like no further contribution. With the exception of this, that we need to think once again regionally, and for that matter, we need to have multi. What was that term that you using?
Global value chains.
No, yeah, like in the multilateral production. We need to go for that as well. Multilateral production, and for that matter, we have numerous stakeholders with us. We need to revive organizations like ECO. We need to revive our dead organizations like SARC if it is not revivable. And at the same time, we need to look east more, which means that we have to have more trade with Afghanistan. What do they need? What we can export to them? We need to focus more with China as a great country, a partner country, but we are exporting very less to them at the same time. We need to have more production, something that we can contribute into together rather than unilaterally.
Our particular geographic position, how can we achieve our objectives?
You just need to manufacture something you can ship from Gwadar. That's it. You just need to manufacture something that you can ship from Karachi. That's the problem. Ships are there, sea is there. I do not have something with I can, stuff my the containers. The more
Okay.
quickly you do, the more quickly you will get
Thank
that.
you. Thank you, Dr.
Something about it. I think you need 3 layers basically. One is entrepreneurial layer, basically, which works at factory level, at shop floor. You need to create such entrepreneurs who can create competitive products which are acceptable in the international market. Then at national level, you need some policies, industrial policies. Not only when we think about industrial policy, it's not just one policy. There are multiple policies within industrial policies. Okay, so you have, and the third is basically forums like SCO, BRI, and other. So I think once you have these 3 layers and they're aligned, I think you basically can get into the international market and you can grow. So this basically the recipe.
Thank you very much.
No, I think this question needs more labor. Let me add a couple of points also. I think Dr. Shazia mentioned something like exportable surpluses. This is something we constantly get this refrain that we need to increase our exports, we need to push towards geoeconomics and all that. The location is there, and as he also rightly said, the sea is also there, the ports are also there, but you need something to fill the ships also. So 2 things are critical: enhancing your level of productivity and your global competitiveness, so that if you produce a thing, it is competitive in a foreign market to be sold as well. And for that, I think we need to do a lot of work inside Pakistan. And then obviously forums like SCO, which has, we talked about almost 40% of the global population. So it's a market. And they have an emphasis on trade, on economy. So if we are, and there are other countries, China is the manufacturing hub of the whole world, and of course one of the country with the largest number, amount of trade. And there are others also. Huge markets. Again, India is a big market also. So eventually, if we are in a position to produce more and better, then obviously our economic challenges can be addressed, including through these forums as well.
Thank you very
Sir,
much, sir.
thank you very much.
Thank you. Now I would like to invite Chairman Board of Governors, Ambassador Khalid Mahmood, for his concluding remarks. So you have the floor.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Director General ISSI, Ambassador Sohail Mahmood, the keynote speaker, Ambassador Babar Amin, and constellation of discussants, Dr. Liaquat Ali Shah, Dr. Shazia Ghani, and Dr. Sayyid Hussain Shaheed Surwardi. I think we have very enlightening introduction to the SCO, its background, its potential, the challenges it faces. I think these 2 phenomena, globalization and regionalization, sometimes people put emphasis on one or the other. Well, the fact is that the world arena allows for the coexistence of regionalization and globalization. And sometimes they compete with each other, sometimes they mutually reinforce each other. It is in this context that we should view other regional organizations, including SCO. As you know that the origins of SCO were limited to non-traditional security issues. First it was the settlement of borders, China's Shanghai 5, the predecessor. So China was able to settle its border with all its neighbors except India's till now, And then emphasis was on combating the scourges of, this terrorism, extremism, and secession, separatism. So, but now SCO has expanded, and rightly so, its ambit, But I agree with the assessment that so far still SCO remains, its emphasis remains on non-traditional security, which is not a bad thing. But I think SCO has to now grow and undertake some multilateral projects. Of course, you need some regulations, etc. But I think enough time has passed that, like other organizations, SCO should also have resolved these institutional and legal frameworks which are required. So there is need for SCO to undertake these multilateral projects, as well as Dr. Shazia pointed out, to agree on financial arrangements which are needed to give a push in that direction. See, about this controversy about whether SCO is a NATO, Eastern NATO or not, I think Ambassador Amin has rightly said that it is not a defensive organization, not a collective defensive organization. It is more, as I said, addressing the non-traditional security challenges. About India's role, when the membership applications of Pakistan and India were being considered, there was a real danger that if both become members of the SCO, it might have a negative implications, because their bilateral disputes might vitiate the atmosphere in the SCO. And that explains why it took so long for Pakistan and India to be admitted to the SCO. But so far, their rivalry has been contained within SCO. But as again, Ambassador Babar Amin pointed out, that as I am using his words, that India's selective interest, doublespeak, and trying to bringing Western agenda in SCO, that might pose some problem in the future. Because India's alliance is now clearly known to one and all, particularly to China and Russia now. And if India becomes a claw for the Western world to get into this SCO, which was primarily meant to resist the incursion of Western influence in this region, that might create some problems. This is one of the challenges, as has rightly been pointed out. So to conclude, I would say that a Chinese scholar has said that SCO is like a cart with two wheels, economic and security. So we have, for the car to move, you have to work on both these wheels. So thank you very much.
So thank you very much, sir. With this, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the end of today's very informative event. I would like to thank Dr. Shazia Ghani, Dr. Sorwardi, Ambassador Babar Amin, and Dr. Liaquat Shah for contributing, and special thanks to Ambassador Asif Durrani and all of you for being with us. Thank you very much. We have refreshments at the back. Thank you.